Hey guys, gonna do another quick slash style lesson. Gonna keep this pretty brief. Just was doing a lick, just a little bit of a mixing major and minor kind of thing. You'll see it's a pretty slashy kind of vibe. As always, I'm tuned to E flat. Playing this in B, but just to give you some perspective, if you think about B, like for example, the boxes, this one's going to start in box 3. So if you think about box 1 being here, right? When we go to box 2, right? Box 3 is up here. So again, in that kind of 12th, 13th fret kind of range, if you're familiar with box 3, that would be box 3 minor pentatonic for B, but I'm gonna kind of mix in major notes, but hopefully you're familiar with box 3. So again, it'd be like if you're working your way up to, so now we're in box 3. So this is where I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna explain too much, I'm just gonna show it, but the idea would be starting in box 3, on the 3rd string, 13th fret, this kind of thing. Let me try that again. It's actually kind of more like so I know that's kind of a lot to unpack there. That's kind of one kind of big phrase there, mixing in some different positions. But starting in position 3 and then kind of working up to position 4 minor. I mean, it's helpful if you know the boxes. I don't really have time in this little brief lesson to explain them all, but I did so in another long lesson, and obviously you can find that information all over the internet. I'm just going to focus on this lick, playing it slowly, and hopefully you can kind of pick up on some of these licks. But what I'm doing is this, starting in with this kind of major kind of sound. This, again, coming in on the 3rd string, 13th fret, then hitting the 2nd string on the 12th fret, kind of alternating, then going with the, again, I'm still on the 2nd string there with my ring finger, grabbing it and doing a little bend, like little, if you can do that kind of bend. And grabbing the pinky with the 1st string. That Southern rock kind of thing, right? So. And again, I think it's important to think any of these little licks, you can take them, you can just grab one of them and do it. You know, you don't have to do this whole piece that I've kind of made up. You can just do this. Right, I mean, that's a good lick right in and of itself. That kind of thing, but the one that I did was so again, the next part, after that you do this. That makes sense. Again, that's the first chunk, I guess. So after the first chunk, it goes up to this big bend on the 1st string. I guess that'd be the like the 14th fret. And you do a chromatic walk down. Right? So I'm hitting it a few times, and if you don't know about like rake picking. That's how I'm getting that kind of sound, that instead of just hitting it one note clean, one string clean like this, I'm kind of hitting more notes. Like, that's how it gets that kind of dirty sound, right? So I'm hitting it a few times, but again, you don't have to do it just like this. You could just go. So I'm just choosing to kind of emphasize that. It sounds very slashy, right? And I'm going into a kind of a rapid little legato thing, which when you do it fast, it sounds a lot harder than it is, but again, so. So let's see if we can unpack that little sequence here. That. Wait. Yeah, that's it. You can do that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going. Hopefully that makes some sense. I'm just trying to break it down into slow chunks here. So again, that's a lot of legato, right? If you notice, I'm not picking that much. So again. So I realize I'm changing it a little bit. I kind of made this up pretty quickly, so maybe I should have gotten it down pat better, but hopefully you can just kind of get the gist of it and kind of do your own thing with it. So let's see. Does that make sense? I think once you start getting the idea of these little slash legatos, you'll notice the picking and the legato pattern is often very similar, but you're just spreading out the frets differently depending on what notes you're trying to hit, if it's major, minor, whatever. But like if you were in position 1, right, it's not that different. It sounds different, but I'm picking and hammering very similarly as far as just the physical aspect of it. So again, let me put it back in context. Does that make sense? And again, it's good to work on the bends. Like, if you think about a song like "Out to Get Me," right? He does that. That kind of just so it's good to practice those bends and that whole. So that leads us into this little next part. So we go. Then I go sliding up on the second string. It's just second and first string. And it's just like a half step bend. Very bluesy sounding, right? But if you notice, I'm hitting some of these notes are bent the whole time, like this one. If I was hitting it not bent, it would be it wouldn't be the right tune. So see, I'm going to the second string there, but I'm hitting it bent the whole time. And again, I think it's useful if you even just pick up that lick if you don't know it. That's a cool lick in and of itself, right? Regardless of putting it together in this whole sequence I made. So you could do it in position 1, some octaves down, but it would be like the same kind of thing. Like this is B minor position 1. See, it sounds the same, but it's just like lower, right? So again. So again, let's put it back, the whole thing again. Could probably stop there and not add this last part, but you know, take what you want out of this. See, sometimes I'm doing this back and forth before I launch into the legato, or just sometimes. Those details really aren't that important. You can do it however you want. Like, honestly, I would change it every time I play it. It's just kind of just whatever you feel. There's no right or wrong to it, as long as you're hitting the right notes. So. I know that part can be tricky sometimes, learning the legato like that. Hopefully you can see it and close enough to kind of decode it. Maybe if you can see my picking hand too, that it's really not much picking. Well, the first part is, but. Again. Then you go. So then we're in I guess that's position 4 of minor pentatonic, right? So, sorry, I know that's a lot to take in, but I'm just going to do it over again. So. Oop. And again, you could stop there. I mean, that's a cool phrase too, right? Just. But the way I was playing it originally was. Again, we're going back to some more legato. It's the same things I did on this part, but I'm doing it in a different position. Wait, where is it? So hopefully you have a sense of perspective of kind of where we're at, right? So box 1, 2, 3, beginning of the lick in box 3. That's a bend on the first string, right? then I'd do the legato again. Right? We know that. I mean, I've done that same kind of slashy lick in like every lesson, I think. So probably know it by now if you watched any of the other ones, or you may just already know it. You see what I'm doing there? And then I'm grabbing it and doing the same bend as we did earlier with the, you know, grabbing with the pinky on the first string. And we're in position 4 at this point. I was choosing to end that phrase on a bend. I guess you could just go to the root note, like. See, that's the root. The B root note. I mean, it's on the 3rd string, but it's the B root. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this not crazy long, so I'm going to do it one more time, or a couple more times all together. And hopefully, again, I know it's a lot to unpack, but hopefully you can grab just little pieces of this, kind of get the vibe of it, grab what you want, do what you want with it. I think there's some cool little licks within this. Licks kind of almost stock licks I use. You can combine them in different ways. I just thought this was a decent lick of just kind of demonstrating how to kind of link them together in a slashy type way. In addition to legato, it's just emphasizing kind of these bends, getting the vibe, kind of raking and kind of grabbing those strings so you get that dissonant sound, right? Which kind of gives it that kind of attitude, and that just, Slash does it a lot, but you know, most, I think, bluesy lead guitar players do those kind of, these kind of like, that kind of thing. So anyway, back to the lick. Do it again. Oh. Well, see, I'm messing up now too. Again, I think it is important to realize that any of these licks can be used by themselves, you know? Like this first one. Or this. Again, that's position, that's a box 4, right? But again, I'm just mixing in some other things just to kind of show you that you don't really have to stick to this. It opens up a lot of different possibilities, I think. But again, I'm going to go through it again. So again, just trying to kind of vary it, showing that you can kind of emphasize some of these bends. You can hang out on one of the bends longer. You can skip steps. I mean, I made that up just to kind of illustrate, but again, you could just do something like, again, just variations of it, right? But hopefully you can take away some of these licks. Anyway, hope that helps. Gonna stop there. I guess was kind of a long one, but hopefully there's some good stuff, worthwhile stuff within there. All right, thanks guys.